often looks polished, persuasive, and confident. True authenticity and honesty looks clunky, uncomfortable, and it's not always wrapped in a bow. That's why the friends that push you to be better and make you uncomfortable are usually often your best friends who have your best interest in mind. The one who's not afraid to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. The one who's willing to support you in the bad times, not only the good. Sometimes the person who's flattering you the most is your enemy. The people who are telling you whatever you want to hear sometimes have an angle, and often are the people who end up betraying us. In Alma 47, it's warning us, oftentimes evil is polished and things are not what they seem. Amalickiah is a Lamanite who wants to be king and stops at nothing to do so. He conspires to dethrone the Lamanite king by making friends with him, and he stirs up the king to anger against the Nephites, and the king desires to go to war against the Nephites because of what Amalickiah said. He sends out a decree. Some of the people wanted to go to war, and the other half that didn't want to go to war, they fled, and they made another man their king, Leonti. So Amalickiah gathers the people who want to go to war and tells the Lamanite king, I'll go convince them. He goes and he conspires against his men, meeting with King Leonti. He requested to meet with him 4 times, and when Leonti finally came with some guards, he said that he would give away the position of his men if Leonti was willing to make him second in command. So Leonti agrees, and in the middle of the night, all of his men surround Amalickiah's men and they surrender. It's exactly what Amalickiah wanted. Amalickiah had malicious intent from the get-go. He knew that if he was in second command, that he would be the runner-up to be the next leader. So he had one of his servants slowly poison Leonti until he died, which made him the king. Once he was the king, he marched all of the armies to the land of Nephi. He goes to the king. The king had 2 guard servants with him, and 2 of Amalickiah's servants bowed down to the king. As he raised them up, one of the servants of Amalickiah stabbed him straight in the heart. He fell to the ground. The king's 2 servants were in shock and fled into the wilderness in fear of their own life. Then Amalickiah sent his armies after them to kill them. They fled to the land of Zarahemla. Amalickiah's servants were very much for him and were just as evil as him, because they also wanted to get gain from the king's death. Amalickiah sent an embassy to go tell the queen that the king had passed. She needed some more convincing. Amalickiah and his servants went and convinced the queen that the servants indeed did kill the king, because they knew the servants were not going to be there to defend themselves. They fully convinced the queen that they were guiltless, and they gained favor with the queen to the point where the queen wanted Amalickiah to be her husband. So Amalickiah wiped her up. He completely took over the Lamanite kingdom by his fraud. Had everybody convinced. Even the people who knew the truth and conspired with him, they were on his side. They were evil too. Wow. The evil doings of one man caused all of them to be wicked. The Lamanites, the Lemuelites, the Amalickiahites, and even the Nephites, who are normally the good guys, when the Nephites fell away, they actually became more evil. They fell into more lasciviousness and indolence than even the Lamanites, because they had once had truth, and once you have truth and fall away, you typically fall even harder. This is often how the devil deceives us. Flattery, persuasive words, charm. A lot of the times when something seems too good to be true, sometimes it is, and we need to take a second look at that, because there really isn't shortcuts to life. There really isn't shortcuts to success. A lot of the times, success and true change is the daily efforts that stack up and add up. Success is usually compounded effort and not something that you get overnight. I heard this quote once, that after 20 years of work, you'll become an overnight success. Oftentimes, the most successful people that look and make it seem like it was easy, there's often a ton of work that was put in that we don't see. Things are not always what they seem, and when we're trying to discern good versus evil, the scriptures say, by their fruits ye shall know them. Do they bear good fruit or evil fruit?